Night I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car.
All right. Hello, everybody. Let me know who is in the chat right now or who's here by saying hi in the chat. And today we have a very special guest. I've never done this before, but I've never done it before where I brought on someone who was like just a teacher, I guess. Like
just a dude.
Yeah,
just a dude.
Just a regular dude, just like all you dudes are chicks, right? So would you like to introduce yourself, Jay?
Sure. My name's Jay. I am an ESL teacher. I teach mainly kids from like 6 or 7 to about 12. I do have some younger ones. I didn't start out as a teacher. I started out as something else. Yeah. Anything else you need?
And when you started, what got you into? I'm going to ask you some questions I don't even think I know the answers to. What got you into teaching online?
So I retired 10 years ago. I was a defense contractor. I worked in the Middle East for many years, and so when I retired, I moved to the Philippines, and I'll be honest with you, I got really bored. So I'm like, well, what can I do that, they're not going to pay me an American salary in the Philippines. I'm not so I decided, somebody mentioned teaching, and I went, well, I can teach English, I think. And so I started teaching for a really small school in China. This was back in the day when we were still using QQ for classes. There wasn't even video.
Before.
Right. It's kind of how I got started, and I just kind of stuck with it. I had a lot to learn in the beginning, though. I really didn't know. Teaching English sounded easy, but it's not as easy as it sounds. It was actually, I had quite a bit of learning to go through. I didn't take any special training. What's that?
And you're doing it by yourself, because this was before there were like Facebook groups to help you out, and before there was curriculum. You just had to literally Google was like there, but not.
Oh my gosh!
Behind. YouTube wasn't yet.
Yeah, and the schools then that were doing this online, they didn't really have much in the way of material. They didn't really have much. So you didn't get the pretty lessons that you get now when you go to one of the various schools. You didn't get that then. So yeah I kind of learned the hard way.
How many other teachers are doing this with you?
Well, this was at a school called Jason English. I don't even think they're still around. They had maybe 10 teachers, maybe 11. And after about a year, they came out with their video platform. That was the big deal. And we had all gotten used to teaching with no video. And we're like, well, I don't want to use video. So they would get mad at us if we didn't.
Look at you now making shorts on Xiaohongshu.
I know. Oh, my shorts are so bad. They're so bad.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah, it does. I found if I kept them simple and copied your format, it worked really well. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. So, okay. So then, how did you transition? I know you eventually started working for companies. How did that
Right.
happen? How did you transition into that?
So the pay was really low at Jason English, so I switched to 5-1 Talk because the pay was like 60% higher. And then 5-1 Talk started struggling, so they reduced everybody's salary back to the standard $15 an hour, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that. And I found Palfish, and with Palfish, you worked there. I know you worked there. I saw you there.
I was the annoying mentor.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Back in Palfish, Jay thought I was the most annoying, cringeworthy person.
I did. I was like, who is this? Who is this woman?
I didn't know what I was doing. They made me a mentor. You got paid like $70 a month to be a mentor at Palfish. And that involved running multiple chat groups of new teachers who had no idea how to teach or do anything. Right. So I was just like, well, there's YouTube. I'll just make YouTube videos. And I had no idea. Like, I was a brand new teacher. I was a brand new mentor. I never did YouTube before. I was being taught by all of the cringe, look at me listing my excuses here, but I was being taught by like companies, right? So like, I know sign language. So when I go on there, I'm like incorporating sign language into my YouTubes, and I've left them up if anybody wants to laugh at me. Just if you ever like, if you ever need proof that you can improve, there it is. But yeah, okay. So you started working at Palfish,
and then double reduction hit. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing this for this price. I'll just not work instead. But then I came across, I'm not going to name the school, but if anybody wants to know, they can ask me outside of here. That's more of a marketplace. And that's where I really started, because you had to bring your own material. They don't give you anything. And that's when I really started thinking about it. And then I hit a rough patch there, and I said, oh, you know what? I can do this. I feel like I know enough now that I can do this on my own, or at least try. And I had one feeble attempt that didn't go well, so I pulled back. It went back to the marketplace because I still have my account there.
What was that feeble attempt?
The feeble attempt was about, let me see. It's about a little over a year and a half ago, so maybe 20 months ago. Okay. And then
so that was before we started. That was
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I still didn't know about the groups or any of that stuff. I still was just doing it the J way.
Oh, you weren't even in the Facebook groups yet.
No. I didn't know anything.
Okay.
I didn't know that this was a thing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of January, early in December, I said, all right, January 1st, we're going to do this. And so that's kind of how I got started. And my goal was to be non-marketplace or platform dependent in 1 year. And I did that. Yes.
When we first started talking, when I start working with somebody, one of the first questions that I always ask them is, what are your goals? And give me a number that's going to take for you to get there. Like I try to do the math. Like, what are your goals? My goal is to be independent. Okay, what number is it going to take? And what was the number that you gave me? Do you remember?
50 students. 50 students.
He didn't even. I don't think you weren't even keeping track, right? The one day you just looked and you're like, oh, I've surpassed that. Right.
Right. I kind of went past it. And that seems like a lot of students, probably to a lot of people, but most of my classes are kids doing 25-minute lessons. So it's not as much as it sounds like, but that was the number that I came up with that I needed, that I thought that I could be independent of a platform. That was a number.
And the other thing that I think is really cool is you have not only, like a lot of teachers go and they are like, oh, well, everybody is doing this, so I'm going to do this. Everybody is teaching grammar, so I'm going to teach grammar. Everybody's teaching business English, so I'm going to like, there are even programs out there that tell you these are the profitable niches, pick a niche from the list. And they like have teachers pick like, okay, well, I'm going to teach tests. I'm going to teach business English. I'm going to teach, XYZ. Actually, really quick, I'm going to interrupt myself. SuperTeacher, she wants to know if you reached that goal.
Hi, Ivy. Yes, I did. I went beyond 50 students. I'm up to 60 now. I'm up to 60.
So one of the things that I always tell teachers, because we'll have like, and we just had a thing in our little chat group and our Facebook group that we just opened. Somebody was speaking, saying that they wanted to teach English. Their English was very bad in the chat, and it kind of set off a bunch of conversation. They weren't asking to teach English, though, for the record. There was a big miscommunication there, but that's what we're used to. Like, hi, teach. I can teach. I can teach. Give me job. Give me student.
Right.
But your example here is a really good example of you are a fluent English speaker, right? So like you are an English teacher, but you don't have to be an English teacher. You actually took something from your military experience.
Yes, I did.
Group
that
class.
Was really, I did some group classes on meteorology. I was a meteorologist in the U.S. Air Force, and I did some group classes, and it was the first time I had done anything like that, and I had to create my own material. Again, not really sure what I'm doing there, but we do it the J way sometimes. And I'm going to do it again. I did 2 group classes at the same time with 3 kids in each, I think is what it was. Yeah, 3. I made it 10 1-hour classes, and I'm going to change that to 5 90-minute classes, I think. 10 weeks is a long time to get everybody, to make sure everybody's available at the same time. But yeah, I did meteorology classes. And I really enjoyed that. I'd like to do more science classes, actually. I'd like to do more.
I love that, because I know we were talking that you haven't completely pinned down your niche. So if anybody is thinking like, I haven't figured out my niche, it's okay. Just go with what you've got. You'll figure out as you start doing it.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place right now.
But I love that by experimenting and trying different things, you found something that, isn't going to be just the monotonous, boring slide. I'm not calling anybody slides. Any curriculum in here, I'm not calling your slides boring. I'm just saying, when you teach the same slides over and over and over, and you're just doing that gets really boring, at least for me.
Right. Same, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they can be filled with sparkles and glitters and flying unicorns. But like,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool that you're, slowly figuring out like what you want.
And I'm moving into other areas as well. And this is what I was talking to you about the other day. I'm in too many different things right now. I'm teaching a lot of kids English, but I'm also moving into teaching OET. I've been teaching IELTS for years, but I think we've got to tighten that up a little bit, because it would be so much easier to prepare for classes if I only had to prepare for 1 or 2 different types of classes. It'd be much easier.
Right. That might even be something where you could do like just a test prep kind of thing just during like test prep season too.
Right.
Like have the regular lessons and then like,
I hate to reduce or let go of what got me here, and that's the kids. And one of the reasons I like the kids is I get to watch them develop over the years, because when I get a kid as a student, I don't keep them for 6 months. I keep them for years and years and years. That's one of the benefits to teaching kids versus adults, because the adults usually have a very specific goal. Once they hit their goal, you never see them again.
Yeah.
Kids is a little bit different, but I've got to do something with that.
Yeah. So, I said, Ivy had asked us, she said she's at 17 and thinking about offering groups. Do you have any tips?
If you've never taught a group class, I would probably practice it. What and I don't think I wouldn't do a regular English class. What kind of group classes are you thinking of, Ivy? If she has time to answer me, I would be very specific. Like Jillian does writing classes. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do a group writing class. I think I would struggle with that.
So I can
Um,
tell you for my writing classes, I actually have to get people into them. One of the things that I do is I create a wait list of the people that said no. Usually if they say no, it's a price objection, right? So now I
okay.
keep them on a wait list. So now at the end of the wait list, it's, I've got X amount of people on the wait list. Then I'll go back to them and I'll say, hey, I know that you were really interested in doing XYZ, and I go back to whatever their goals were. I just opened up a class that starts at this time on this date. I'm only accepting this many students.
Mhm.
It is more affordable, but you're going to get the same experience, if not better, because you're going to be in a group of peers.
Right.
And I would love to save a spot for you. And that's
The
kind of how I fill up my group classes.
the one thing that I did, you'll be very proud of me. I This was the one time I really did the niche thing, and I got that from you and one other person, and I really nailed down who I was targeting. And for the weather classes, I was targeting, no offense to anybody that's one of these people, but I was really targeting the nerdy, like 12 and 13-year-old science kids.
I don't
And
think
I don't necessarily,
and none of us are 12 or 13-year-olds, so we're good.
well, by using the word nerdy, I was
My
really
daughter,
looking,
that's my daughter.
ah, but yeah, I really decided that's who I want because, and I also communicated with the parents. I told them, don't push them to go in this. If they don't want to do it, don't push them. I don't want to teach a class where the kids feel like they're forced to be there.
Right.
Um, and I really made sure that I communicated that to the parents. And a couple of the students, I actually, after the meteorology course was over, I actually converted to English students.
That's,
The-
that's
yeah,
awesome.
I actually converted them to one-on-one students as well.
And this was not an English class. You did not market this as an English class.
No, I specifically told the parents this is not an English class. I'm not going to be teaching any English. Yes, there's going to be new vocabulary, but I'm not teaching English. I'm not teaching grammar. I'm not teaching writing. I'm not teaching any of that.
You're just teaching
This is
in
a pure
English.
right.
But
We're just
that's
doing it
something
in
that's
and
something they
I
want anyways. Yeah.
right. I learned that there's a huge demand for that right now. There's having other classes, not just science, but other classes done in English. I've Go ahead. What?
I was gonna say it's really weird. I have a student. Hold on, I just had this happen with two of my writing students. In the same week, I found out they were with other teachers that are like that I know. Okay.
I
But
saw that.
it's twice. It happened twice.
That's really weird.
Down. And then the algorithm is really weird because it started showing some of the new Teacher Boss Society members
Hmm.
in my suggested people. Like the Xiaohongshu algorithm is like on top of it.
Right.
But it shows my prior students my account when I started a new account, and like I haven't talked to these people in forever, and then boom, they're like, oh my goodness, there's our old teacher, like right? So it's so weird. But anyways, and that's probably why that happened, is because the algorithm is like out of this world on top of things
Mhm.
there. But the one student that I have, he is taking writing classes with me, and I do
Mhm.
not market mine as ESL classes. They are ESL,
Right.
ELA classes, but he's taking group writing class with me. He's taking a public speaking class with another person. He's taking nope, that's it. He's a homeschooled student in China, which I did clarify with his mom. He is homeschooled. That is a thing in China.
Really?
Yes, yes. Because she posted something on her WeChat moments talking
Mhm.
about there is this exhibition that's for like science or something, history. Maybe it has to do like the pyramids or something. It was like something, but it was in China, like in
Mhm.
Shanghai or something like that. And she wanted another person, another homeschool mom of the same, with the kids the same age to, go with her when it's not busy one day, because, our kids need to have socialization when they're
Mhm.
homeschooled. And I was like, wait a second, that sounds like she is talking about homeschool. I
Right.
didn't hear it wrong.
Right.
So I asked her, and she said, this is the way it works. When a kid goes to an international school, they're considered international students. And the Chinese Ministry of Education no longer really cares about them because they're not Chinese students. They're not in the Chinese educational system. They're in the international education system. So
Mhm.
if they go into an international school and then the parents pull them to homeschool, that is actually legal and they can get away with it that way.
Is it very common yet?
Yeah. She said
Really?
it's more common than you think. But I mean, of course, this is coming from someone who's in those communities, right? So she's probably in the WeChat groups with other
Right.
homeschooling parents, and she's
Right.
probably, but yeah.
That's a really good area to target,
And I would assume
supplementing
I have
homeschooling.
I have a group lesson with because she didn't want to pay my rates. And
Mhm.
she said, well, what if I did it as a group lesson? I said, I can do group lessons too. So I am assuming she went to the homeschool group to
Mhm.
grab kids to come into the group lesson. So she made a group lesson for me. But yeah.
Did you give her a good rate, a different rate than everybody else?
I gave her the same rate as everybody else in the class.
Wow. When I get a group class together, whoever puts the group together, I give them a little bit of a
Oh.
discount because they do all the work for me.
Yeah, well, she was looking for cheaper prices, right? So like
Mhm.
she got the cheaper prices.
All
I
right,
guess
cool.
she does have a cheaper price than the other parents, though, because the other parents have siblings in the group too. So it's not just one. It's not
Mhm.
just like one parent, one parent, one parent. It's like,
Right.
parents with different
Right.
kids. We did our first group lesson today, so that was fun. But group
Oh, Ivy's got a question for me here. Ivy,
this one.
up top, right here. I can't click at 1012. So, no, I didn't switch 100% to groups. I still do mostly one-on-one teaching. I'd be hard pressed to leave that because I really enjoy the one-on-one teaching, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I know I can make more money doing group classes, but I got to keep my sanity too.
Yeah. So how old are your most of your students then? I mean, you said kids, but
Mostly, I really seem to really hit the target at like 7 to 12 years old. And for some reason, I do better with girls than boys. I do better
okay.
with girls than boys. I don't know why that is. I teach boys. I don't have any problem with it. But most of my students seem to be girls. I don't know why.
I like your bald head. That's from my
They
daughter, not
do.
me.
My gosh, I get comments on it every day. And I ask them, I said, so I got a haircut today, or what color's my hair? If we have that type of a lesson, I'll ask them, what color's my hair?
I can help you out.
I need that.
I got one of my wigs, one of my wigs right here for you.
I couldn't be blonde though.
I got a pink one. You want to? This isn't like totally blonde. It's got like a purple hue to it. You could do that.
It's
It's
blonde.
got like a purple hue.
Purple. That's even better. That's even better.
I've got a pink one. I've got one that's totally pink. So,
all right.
And then Ivy said that she remembers the meteorology classes idea. I'm glad you want to have to do that. Yeah, I think you were talking about that for a while, and you were like, "Well, I don't know if it's going to work," and it worked, right? So
yeah, I enrolled 2 groups like that. Now, so let me see here. One was a new, so there was 6 people total. 3 of them were already my ESL students, and 3 were new students. They were new
that's
students.
awesome. And then how many of the new students went on to keep taking lessons?
2.
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 of the 6 I still see every week, every
That's
week.
awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, I struggled with making the material because this was a science class for kids, and I can teach meteorology at a much different level than most people can, a much higher level, but had I had a tendency to make it too hard. And so, yeah, I have to rework the material and the classes. It needs to be more of an introductory thing than anything.
I think it's such a good idea to do something different like that. And like I know Katie
Mhm.
does science classes, I do writing classes. I know a lot of
Mhm.
people that do like public speaking or
Yeah.
I've done not independently, but like with all school when they were a thing. I
Mhm.
did ukulele lessons. I will never do ukulele lessons online. I will never do ukulele lessons online with children that do not speak English and have 14 instruments.
I
I will
I
never have
actually I've taken an online ukulele class. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go?
When at the marketplace I was working on, I was trading English lessons with a ukulele teacher. I would give her English lessons, and she would give me ukulele lessons. She wanted me to. I had to stop it because she wanted me to sing while I was playing. I said, "I'm not singing. I'm not singing. I don't sing. I don't sing. I wouldn't do that."
I do. I do. I have another YouTube channel where I haven't posted on in a while, but I have another YouTube channel where I just do like my ukulele covers and stuff.
Mhm.
And a lot of times I'll have to refer back to my stuff to figure out how I played it. Oh, I want to play that song. How do I play it again? Let's go to the chorus. But I think I'm the only one that watches it. But yeah, but yeah, my point being here is that you don't have to feel pigeonholed into the trap of I'm going to teach ESL, I'm going to teach writing, I'm going to teach like one of these subjects, because the
Mhm.
reason that they're taking English lessons is, well, especially when you're looking at the Chinese market, right? The reason that they're taking English lessons is so that they can learn English and they can be exposed to native speakers. A lot of times they will
Functional,
have, yeah,
functional English is what I
yeah,
like to say. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, a lot of times they just want somebody to practice English with. And
Mhm.
um what they're learning another skill alongside it,
Right.
it's benefiting it. You don't have to um feel that you're trapped in these classes where like grammar, I will never ever, I know grammar, okay?
Oh
My
my gosh.
mom, so I don't know if this is like PC to say or anything, but like my mom was what we always called a grammar Nazi, okay?
Right. Right.
I will be, you know how you say things when you're talking and like the grammar doesn't come out right, but you know, if you were to
Mhm.
write it, you would know it. Every time that happens, especially when I'm live on a YouTube channel, I'm like, don't say anything, just move past it. Like I have to, because it was like drilled in my head so hard, right?
Mhm.
But like, I will never teach grammar.
The,
Find your own thing. Find your own
you
thing.
know that I teach a little bit of it like traditional grammar, but more I do it so that they can help pass their tests.
Hmm.
Like I do teach them the name of all the continuous tenses. I go, see this continuous? It's that means there's going to be an ing verb in there. I always tell them that. And like the perfect tenses, have, has, or had, just so they can do that. It does help them on the tests. It does
Yeah,
help them on the test.
I I let them learn that part in school because most of them are taking English lessons. So this is
Mhm.
just the way that I teach, right? So I'm not saying
Yeah,
you're wrong, but
I know.
I let them do that part in school because
Mhm.
I have noticed, and it depends on the country too, where they're coming from and their age, how they react to this. But there are some populations that when they come into this, they're so focused and they won't speak because they're trying to, oh, is that continuous or
Present perfect.
and like and they spend all of this time trying to classify instead of just speaking.
Mhm.
So my mo here is, and I have taught grammar before, I just won't ever do it again.
Right.
It was like stepping on nails, like like
Yeah, I try to structure my classes so it's I want it to be active. What I hate to do is and I've had to teach these kinds of classes is where the kid sits down in the class and they read for 25 minutes. See you later, teacher. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is not helping anybody.
no,
This is
no.
not helping anybody." That was back when I first started.
Yeah.
respectfully.
I mean, I will like make grammar corrections and I'll help them with their
Mhm.
grammar, but I kind of do it in like a natural way. Like
Yeah,
if you were to be talking with your kid and they're doing you're helping with them with their homework and they're like, and they say something, you're like, wait a second, hold on. Like, let's go back. Why did you say it this way? Okay.
right.
Do you think that that's right? Is that singular? Is that plural?
Mhm.
Is that, you know what I mean? And you kind of just like make them start thinking in English. That's kind of what I do.
Mhm.
I feel that people going so hard on these grammar lessons are, you know,
It's so confusing
counterproductive.
because what's that?
Counterproductive. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. It's so confusing to remember those and the rules and I've seen kids come to class that when I was one of the students that I use that an agent sends me, um, that she's so worried about using the right one that everything comes out wrong. And
Exactly. Yeah.
everything comes out right. And I know what's going on in her head is that past tense, present tense, perfect tense, continuous tense. I know it's all happening in her head at the same time. Uh,
When I get a
yeah,
student like that, I tell them just talk, make mistakes.
right,
You can only get better if you make those mistakes. Don't stop and think about it and just say what's going to come first, right?
right.
Like if it's something like that where you think it might be this or that, just talk. I'll help you work through it. That's
Now, do you correct? Because I don't do that. I don't correct every little mistake. I never have. Do you do that? I focus on the big
it
ones, and
depends.
then
So, yeah, my general way of speaking or my general way of teaching um is to correct the big mistakes. Like I'll figure out, like we'll focus on one big mistake and or like one or two, and we'll like spend a
right.
little time on that and work through and teach them how to think about it. I do not correct every mistake. There have been adult students where I've had where I if they want every mistake
Mhm.
corrected, I will write it. I'll like just like write down it, like type it out for them as we're talking, and then at the end bring up the mistakes that they made that were little. I cannot stop them for every mistake that they make, though. We wouldn't
Right.
talk very long. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think I have always focused. It's kind of more of a communication improvement class than anything.
Now,
We
like
may have material, but I would call it more of that than anything.
and my writing classes are a little bit different because
Mhm.
that's one of the benefits of having a writing class is I can fix every mistake that you put down on paper.
Right.
Um, but for like a speaking class where you're not doing writing. So writing classes you are speaking as well, and I don't correct a lot of the speaking because we're not focusing on speaking. But when you're
Mhm.
doing writing exercises, it actually, like when you're talking, it just comes out, right? You're just whatever you're going to say comes out, and it comes out how it comes out, right? When you're writing, there's actually like it takes time for it to travel from here to here, and by the
Mhm.
time it gets here, you might realize something, erase it, delete it, whatever. So a lot of the students will self-correct, and then it helps reinforce it in their brain.
Right.
I'm so strongly for adding writing into lessons, but
I have started doing that. I'm still not very good at it. I got to go back and watch that video that you and Megan did. I watched it live, but I probably should go back and watch it. Um, that's one of the new things I'm trying to add. And also, I've started dabbling in the debate classes. Those are a lot of fun, actually. They were. I'm using Katie Prescott's material for that. Um, and they weren't what I thought they were going to be. I actually was terrified it's going to be this big formal debate structure, and it's nothing like that. Her debate classes, it's very informal, and it might actually scare some people away just to see that they're called debate lessons because they're really not. They're almost like teaching how to get somebody to express whether they agree or disagree with something. They're really
yeah.
good,
And
really
it's
good.
like, again, that's another way that you can teach thinking in English
Hmm.
because like I'm learning Chinese, right? And
Hmm.
I can say, 我喜欢冰茶. I like iced tea. 我不喜欢冰茶. I can say I don't like iced tea, right? But like I haven't learned like I like iced tea because I have a sugar addiction, and like I haven't learned how to explain like, you know, it's good for you because of this, it's bad for you because of this. That's not, they don't teach. Oh, Jay disappeared. We lost him. Goodbye, Jay. Anyways, they don't teach in language. They don't teach you how to think in English a lot of times. You learn this very structured pattern. Where did Jay go? I wonder if we lost him here. I mean, I know we lost him, but he's messaging me. I lost you. Wait, am I the one gone or is Jay the one gone? He's like, are you there? Can you guys see me or Jay? Okay.
I don't know what happened there.
You said that. Why are you like that now?
I don't know. It's really weird, right?
Okay. I'm like, well, you're messaging me, you there? And I'm like, wait, am I sitting here talking and I'm the one gone?
Yeah, I was wondering, was it me or her? Because it could vary. It's very, you know, a lot of times it's very likely me because the internet in the Philippines isn't like the States. It's not like the States.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of people have the goal of going independent. Are you still teaching with the company or have you actually made that?
A little bit.
Okay.
To be honest, it was a good source of students in the beginning.
Okay.
Not even going to lie there.
Okay. Jay is gone. She said Jay is gone. Jay's back. He's back. Okay. So, you're not really with the company anymore. For someone who is looking forward at that goal and they're like, okay, I want to go independent. Was it worth it? Is it too much work? Is it is it a lot of work to get there? Like, what do they have to expect like for the journey and the end point there?
Well, you know, before you just have to show up and teach. Well, this is different. You have to be the sales guy. You have to be the marketing guy. You have to be the accountant. You have to be the teacher. You have to be so you're going to learn a lot. You're not going to know a lot in the beginning. Like social media is still a struggle for me. It's still a struggle.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
You know, I do well on Xiaohongshu, but not on Facebook or Instagram. It's been a waste of time there for me. It's been a waste of time.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of the people on Facebook though are not looking, like a lot of the people that are on Facebook have been people who are looking for free English speaking buddies. So this is what I have noticed. Facebook groups. There are people in there, but they are looking for, and it's the same for the coaching side too, by the way. Facebook groups are a lot of people that are in the groups that are just looking for something free. Do it for me. I'm not motivated. It's something that I want, but I haven't hit that motivation level yet.
Yeah.
Instagram is a little higher up. I think that you have more go-getters on Instagram. YouTube is a little higher up. I mean, actually a lot higher up on YouTube, because then you have the people that are actually going there and digesting that content. And it's not just seeing a post, but they're building that relationship with you.
Right.
You start teaching something on YouTube and they get used to seeing you and hearing you. And they're like, okay, I want this person to be my teacher. Xiaohongshu is an interesting platform because you do have to waddle through the mucks of, give me a free trial. Here's a transcription job, or I'm a
the PDF. I got a PDF. I want you to translate.
Yeah. Or like, hey, beautiful teacher. You always check. For some reason, these accounts always come from Nigeria. Okay.
Right.
A lot of times, or like here hi, thank you for I'm glad I ran into so Matt Rife. I don't know if you guys know who Matt Rife is. He's a comedian.
Oh yeah, he's
So
hilarious.
he actually, when this whole Homeschool refugee came out, I commented on something on somebody's post, and Matt Rife replied to me, all the way from Nigeria, telling me he was so thankful and could I personally help him because he was really struggling on this app. And I don't know if you know me, but I'm American and I'm like a comedian in America, and I would love if you could like help me. So that's kind of the junk that you have to go through in Homeschool. You're not going to find that as much. Like you'll find that on like Instagram, you'll find that on Facebook a little bit. Facebook is usually pretty good about getting those accounts gone though. You're not going to see that on YouTube very much, right?
Right.
It's very prevalent in Homeschool. But once you can make your way through the crowds of that, you can open your doors up to a lot of students there that are dedicated to learning the language. Yeah.
The other thing that I had to also learn is, okay, I was using textbooks. That's what I used at the marketplace I was on. Yeah, you know what? That gets a little dry really quick. So I had to go out and, I've used lessons. There's 3 people I get lessons from: Katie, Megan, and Brenda. I don't always, I will only pay for 2 at a time. I'm not paying for all 3. So I rotate through them. Every few months. But I found that, like, I don't like creating material, like English material. It takes too much time. I don't want to spend.
They've done so much.
Oh my gosh,
to get it together.
I don't know. I can't imagine how long it would take to create 500 lessons. I can't even imagine.
I'm going to post all those in the comments, the ones that you talked about, in case anyone's not familiar with them.
Yeah.
I know we don't have a lot of people on live, so probably anybody that's watching this already knows exactly who you're talking, because they're going to be the people that have been here before. But yeah, Abridge.
Learning that back end stuff, there's a lot more than you think there is when you're thinking about doing it. There's a lot more. I'll be honest, I use a spreadsheet to track all my classes and payments and everything. I just use a spreadsheet, and I use SuperTeacher as well for payments only. I only use it for payments right now. That was a tough thing for me to figure out for accepting payments from China, because I live in the Philippines. I can't have a Stripe account because even though
you're American,
it's where you live, and I don't even. All I have is a retirement account in the U.S. I don't even have a bank account in the U.S.
Okay.
So, that was challenging.
Okay. Yeah. We have some teachers, and I'm not going to like name names and put anybody put anybody out there, but I know that there are some teachers in Teacher Boss Society too that use SuperTeacher because of their booking system. They open up their schedule and just give the link and they can book it. That is also a really good, I'll put the link for that one in there too. That is also a really good thing for teachers to use. Especially like if you're trying to figure everything out, like you said, the back end, there's so much to do.
And the booking and the calendars was the biggest pain in the butt to figure out, because I don't just have my booking calendar. Well, at the time I also had a lot of students left on the marketplace, and I had to get the calendars to talk to each other, which wasn't easy. That wasn't easy, because the Calendly or TidyCal, I used TidyCal in the beginning, would read the marketplace calendar, but the marketplace calendar can't read my Calendly calendar. So it's not it was a huge problem. So I had to stay on top of it and manually close things. That was a real hassle.
I did that at the beginning too. I started with 2 companies, Health and VIP Kid, and I would be like, okay, these are the hours that I'm working at. And I would try to close them as soon as one booked. And I remember that one time I double booked myself, And I sat there and like, what do I do? What do I do? This is a
Gotta
trial.
cancel one.
It's probably going to be a no-show. What do I do? What do I do? I showed up for both classes at the same time. And luckily one was a no-show. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what's going to be a no-show? This was like my first month of teaching. I was like, I don't know. Because like one was on the iPad, right? Like Palfish was on the iPad and VIP Kid Teacher was on the computer. And I was like, okay, I'm chancing it. Listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect, okay?
That's funny. You're not the first person I've heard do that. A friend of mine did that too. And he's like, what do I do? I go, well, you got to cancel one. No, I don't want to cancel.
They penalize you so much. You cancel a class and you just unpay yourself for another entire class with these companies. No, I'm not working for free. Yeah.
So you get paid double. All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, I got paid double for one class, but it was a huge risk that I took. I'm not recommending it. Do not do that. I was a couple weeks new into this and I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm actually glad you brought that because I have once in a while I get double booked through Calendly. Calendly versus the marketplace. Every once in a while I get double booked. I don't know how that happens. But one of the things that I have done, I work really hard to develop a really good relationship with the parents. And I talk to them like they're adults and they're people. I see people, especially on Xiaohongshu, where the teachers will post a message, a couple messages that the mom and the teacher sent back and forth. And they're like, hi, mommy. And they talk to them like they're little kids. And I'm like, you can't do that. You got to talk to them like they're adults.
What?
Yes.
That's
They do.
weird.
Yeah, they talk to them like they're kids. And I'm like, that's not talk to them like they're people.
I'm willing to bet that that's the same thing I'm willing to bet that those same people have problems getting bookings.
I would think so. Because
that's not like, just because I don't speak Chinese or just because I don't speak English doesn't mean that I'm like stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine? And I mean, chances are, no offense or anything, but if they're paying good prices for English lessons, they've probably got better jobs than us as teachers to begin with. So they're probably smarter than us, right? Like, take that into consideration. You're talking to like doctors and lawyers and stuff. Can you imagine if you're like a lawyer in your like professional life or a doctor, like you're some like prestigious doctor or politician or something, and like you're like, oh, I want to sign my kid up for Spanish lessons, and like the teacher's like, hi, mommy.
Yes, that's what they do. They do that. Like, you're never going to be taken seriously if you do that. You're just not going to.
Well, that's why I've noticed a lot of people have a hard time talking to the parents. They get into classes, they get in front of the student, and they're good teachers, right? But then having that conversation, that relationship with the parent, that involves talking to adults, which a lot of people don't want to do, right? And it also involves having a sales strategy and understanding the basics of sales. That's one of the things because the challenge starts today. So if you guys are in the challenge, day one of the challenge starts today for the Enroll and Grow Challenge. And we are going to go over exactly what you say at the beginning to even get into a trial class. That's what we're going to be doing today. But
that's good. That's important. That's really important.
Well, that's why I did. So if you guys didn't see, the first video was Sunday or Saturday. I made a video before it because I was like, okay, I want to make sure everybody has their stuff set up before we start this challenge. That one's on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see like how to set up your online teaching business before you get into it, then today we're going through and we're going to like walk you through. This is what you're going to post. This is what you're going to say. These are the things that you need to do in this order. This is what you need to do to even get that student into a trial class. On Wednesday, we're coming back and we're going to be learning how to have that trial class. And then on Friday, we're going to be learning how to close the sale. and follow up with those who didn't close the sale. So it's like it's just something that I've never taught before, but I've always done. And I realized that I think, that's one of the reasons that teachers get stuck. Yeah.
I'm not a coach, but I have people ask me for help all the time. And what I always hear from the teachers is, oh, I hate the sales part. If you're going to be independent, you got to learn to love it. You got to learn to love it.
Or at least have a system. You don't have to love it. I hate sales. Like, would you believe that I hate sales? But at the very beginning of this YouTube video, you saw a sales pitch, okay?
Right.
Because it's part of my job, right? Like I love helping you. I love teaching my kids. I love helping other teachers. But I also love feeding my own kids. So it is part of the job.
Right. Maybe you don't have to like it, but you have to accept it and embrace it. Because if you're not at least mediocre at that, you're in for a tough.
Sales isn't always sales. Like it doesn't have to be sales.
Right.
Before you joined Teacher Boss Society, and that was when, that
was in the very beginning when I started.
That was, before you joined us, I had my $1,000 program, and I got you on a sales call and did a sales pitch to you. You're honest. Did that feel like a sales pitch?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's conversation, getting to know your potential client. I do the same thing with my students,
So I always make sure I can talk to the parent right after the trial class. I never mention money. I let them ask. I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing them. So I just don't mention money. I know right away if they're interested, but I've only not sold in this past year. I think only 2 or 3 trials didn't sell, and I give free trials.
Because it comes down to the first thing that you have to do is you have to pre-qualify them for a trial. You're not giving everybody a free trial. Okay.
Right.
You're not doing it. You're not giving everybody a free trial. You're going to pre-qualify them for the free trial, and you're going to deny them if they don't meet those pre-qualifications. You're going to say, "I'm sorry, I don't think this is the right service for you." If you're doing this and you can clearly see that this parent is really hard to work with, and it's not something that you can foresee yourself being happy doing, right? I make it very clear. You talked about the textbooks too. This kind of ties into this.
Right.
I actually have a video on my Homeschool. I'm sure you've seen it because we're followers of each other, right? Where I went on my Homeschool and I said, "Hey,
I stalked you,
teacher or parents. If you're asking me if I can teach this curriculum, if I have access to it, yes, I have access to it, but no, I'm not going to teach your kid." And I was very brutally honest with that. And I said, I'm not going to teach your student any of these textbooks because I'm the professional. You're coming to me. I said it nicer than this, but essentially I said, I am the professional. It is my job to evaluate and assess your student and to figure out what their best thing is. It does not fit into a textbook. It fits into whatever I say it does because I'm the boss here, right? Okay, I didn't say it like that, but basically I said it's that you're coming to me because I'm a professional. Anybody can read off of a textbook. If you want a teacher like that, go find a teacher like that. My job is to put you into a program, put you into a class that's going to help you meet your needs. I thought that was a little cutthroat there, but what it really
I don't think so.
Attracted the people that are my people, and it very strongly repelled the people that were like trial bouncers and stuff. I don't get those anymore.
What I tell parents a lot of times, they'll ask me about different textbooks. I go, yes, I have them. I said, but honestly, all these textbooks, they're all the same. They're all the same. There's nothing really.
That's not true. There's some that are wrong.
No, I mean, as in what they teach is what I mean. Yeah, there's some that are weird.
I've had parents send me stuff. I'm like, I'm not teaching this. It's wrong.
I get people ask me about like some of the National Geographic books and stuff like that, and I'll use it sometimes.
Wonders is good. I like Wonders.
I have a love-hate with that one. I have a love-hate with that one. I know my I'm not well. I know my friend Nicole uh, loves teaching wonders. She loves to teach it. I don't. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But I've totally gotten into using all these lessons that people are making. And I did watch your video the other day about how you can customize them, kind of like on the fly in class. That's what I do. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I've always
It
been like that.
helps. It helps when you've pre-qualified your student and you've
Mhm.
talked to the parent, and it's not just like, yes, I can teach a trial and you get the student in the trial. If you know you know something about the student and they come in and
Mhm.
you can be like, okay, well, this isn't working. I had a student come in the one day and she was crying because she wanted her mom. Um, and I mean, if anybody here has kids, you know that's really hard for a toddler to.
Oh, it's terrifying.
It's hard for a toddler to take that tunnel vision of their
Mhm.
mom and bring it over to a computer screen or an iPad screen. And for a lot of toddlers, it'd be pretty much impossible. Um, so we instead of doing what we were going to do, we drew a picture of her mom and her. Like, we just switched up. Okay, let's draw a picture of you and mommy, and then we learned how to write some words on there, and she learned how to write I love mommy, and we talked about it, and then she wrote daddy likes poop and drew a picture of daddy. I told her
Oh
that,
my.
I was like, I am so sorry, she's so mean to you. But
We've drawn a lot of clouds behind people's butts in classes.
that's funny. Or like, I have I one of my first in my writing classes, one of my first classes that I always do is create a superhero. I started this class when I started working on Outschool, and it
Mhm.
always did so well. So I always do it as one of my opening classes because it's
Mhm.
not throwing the kids right into writing a whole
Right.
bunch. The first 5 minutes, I put on a timer for 5 minutes. You got to draw me a superhero. Okay. That's what you're doing for 5 minutes. You're just drawing. I'll talk to you. We'll talk like it's not just quiet drawing. Like, we're talking about, oh, what are you doing now? But I do this in a group too. But they draw a superhero. Then they present the superhero to me. And then we go into, okay, who can tell me what a noun is? Find a noun. Cape, hat, head, nose. Like today there was a superhero with a pig nose and another one with long spider legs.
Mhm.
And then we do um adjectives. Like, what's an adjective? Okay, for every noun that you wrote down, you need to write an adjective for it. And then we
Mhm.
turn it into a short story. And like next week, we are going to be and this is a
So
new one. We'll be
you
doing a
make the picture
superhero.
first and then you go on to the story? Is that
Yeah.
did I
Yeah, that's usually my first
Oh,
for a
what a
lot of my
simple idea. I make things so complicated. I overcomplicate things. God.
yeah,
My
I
God.
just yeah, I just have them draw the picture and then we go on to do it. And then I will next class I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before. I'm going to be using the Canva templates
Mhm.
for the comic books, and as a group
I
class
was
we're
just
going to be making a comic book with these characters.
I was just going to ask you that because I have always wanted to do a comic book class, and I haven't looked I haven't looked on Canva for comic book stuff, but I've looked all over the internet, and all the comic book software, it was ridiculous to use.
Here, I actually just went through and deleted a whole bunch of my deleted not deleted my stories, but I went through and consolidated a bunch of stories. So I've only got
Mhm.
29 books in here. But uh let's see. I think this is the one that I just started making. So you can go through and you can make these little comics like this. And
Mhm.
I
Are you,
also have
are you sharing your screen?
oh yeah, I was. I just wasn't putting it up there so everybody could see it. I wasn't sharing with the class. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, so this is I was showing the students today. So you can come in here and um, put do little things like this and yeah. And then I'm pretty sure I've got, let me see, where's my student books? Oh boy, let me see if I can find it here. I got a
Now,
lot of
do you pay for this, or are
no,
you on the
I've been using the free version the whole time.
free?
I pay for enough stuff.
I'm that guy, and I warn everybody against this, that when I see something new and shiny, I have to go buy it. So I would warn people against doing that.
Here we go. I have the burger shop that serves people. That's a fun story. Okay, so this is a comic book. This is Sky and Piggy's Adventure Part 1. And you can see that they made their little comic book in here. But they actually wrote 3 parts to this. So there are 3 parts to this, and they have their whole comic book here. Yeah.
And you just use the picture, because I've used Book Creator. You just use the pictures in there and things that they drew.
It depends here. So for a lot of these are Book Creator pictures. Can you see my tabs up here? Oh no, you can only see my screen. There is another app called Artistly, which has AI and AI pictures. So sometimes I'll create AI pictures. So I have, and sometimes they'll draw them, and sometimes they'll give their own pictures. So some of my students have added their own pictures. Let's see here. And these are all published, so like they have permission. I'm not sharing anything they don't have permission about with. But some of the students have put in their own pictures. Maybe I don't have one in there. And then we have another one where oh, here, like so this one, Denica, that's a picture of her. And then I have, oh, hold on. I put it over into my other library. Whoops. Because I was full and I had to figure out how to do it. So like this one, for this story, I actually went through, and these are all pictures. This is a 5-year-old, okay, that made this
Really?
These are all pictures that I got off of AI, Artistly AI. So I'm going to show you how Artistly AI works. This is a lifetime deal. So for anybody that likes or doesn't like subscriptions, it's like $35 for a lifetime deal, which is cheaper than a lot of the places. But like I can write in here a prompt about a bald teacher teaching English in the Philippines, and then say I want to enhance my prompt. I'm gonna draw a pic. We're gonna do a picture of you, okay, Jay? Make sure that I'm actually doing it. So then it makes the prompt, and then you can come over here and choose the image. Maybe I should have made it a male teacher. I don't know what it's gonna do here.
Well, bald. That's gonna be.
And then it's going to. So these are all this is a picture of that my one of my students used. So here's a picture of Jay.
I'm much better looking than
that. And this is actually okay, so the text on that is not great, but if you told it what to write on the board, like you can see this one, the AI on here is actually good. Rehearse.
Yeah, usually there's a bunch of misspellings and
no, the text on this one is actually really good. To do rehearse monologue for audition tomorrow. Like if you tell it what to write, it's pretty good. But yeah, so my friend has a business, her hoarding business. Sorry, crazy Becky. So one of my friends in real life, she has her hoarding business where she does her stuff here. And I actually made her, I don't know what logo she went with, but I actually made her a logo. And I told the one to put the everlasting sale on it. And that's the text that it came up with. It didn't mess it up.
Yeah, that's good. Now, does this software, will it create a series of pictures that, yes, they all look the same? So it would be easy.
Yeah, so that's one of the things, the 3D consistent characters.
Yes.
Yes, I have not played with this yet, but I don't know how this works, so I haven't learned that part, but I do know that that's one of the things that they have here. So 3D consistent characters. So if I wanted an evil elf. Let's say I want an evil elf who doesn't want to go to school. Okay, that's gonna be my character. Okay. I don't know. There are other things, but I like lifetime deals.
Yeah, me too.
I could do a whole video on this if you want me to. But yeah, so he's kind of cute.
They look this. Oh, that's so, because that's the problem I've always had with using AI. I can't get the same character in different pictures.
Yeah, so now it says consistent character. So now I can. Oh, okay. I see how it works. So now I've got riding his bike. Let's make him riding his bike. That's way different.
Mhm.
Riding his bike on a sunny beach. Totally different than this one. Let's see how that works. I mean, okay, I haven't played with this yet, so let's see how consistent it is. Do 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 do. Yeah, they've got the mock-up creator and upscaler and stylize, and okay, this is actually really consistent.
Yeah,
That does work.
this will be really helpful for a writing class, because you could create like 5 or 6 pictures in a series and make the kid write what's going on. That would work really well.
That was actually, let me go back to consistent characters here. Okay, and then it saves it too, so I can, yeah. Look how cranky he is. He's so cute. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That actually, and they also have train your own AI. So you can put a picture of yourself and do AI pictures of yourself, which I haven't done. But yeah, that's I can do a whole video on that one. That's a whole off topic.
Yeah, that would be good.
I use that in my book creator because with the other ones, what's the other one? What is the other one called? I forgot what it's called.
I'm only going to pay for one AI though. I'm just not going to pay
this
for more than one.
Well, this is a lifetime, so that's what's nice about it.
But it only does graphics, right?
What do you mean? It
doesn't do Chat GPT, right?
No. Well, does your Chat GPT do your or does your the other one that you use? I can't think. What's the other one?
Oh, I don't pay for that one anymore. Claude.
Oh, does your Chat GPT do pictures?
It can, yeah.
Okay.
If you pay for Chat GPT, you get access to a bunch of other GPTs as well.
Right.
But I think it's kind of expensive. It's $20 a month. I think that's a lot of money for that. I do.
I don't know, man. ChatGPT is extremely helpful when you learn how to use it.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. I was paying for 2 AIs. Finally. Yeah, I'm like, I've got to get rid of one of these. I had to cut out a lot of things because like I said, I'm the guy that I see something new and shiny. I think I need it. So I go pay for it instead of just using the free version. I feel like I have to go pay for it.
Yeah, you don't need to pay for Book Creator. I've been using
paid for it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm not paying for it right now because I haven't been using it. But yeah, apparently I don't need to pay for it.
No, I mean, if you want all of your students to have books and everything and whatever, but honestly, you could take those same books and just put them into Canva and then give them the PDFs for the Canva instead of just keeping your links to save them forever and ever and ever. You can transfer them over, Also, Book Creator and Canva connect to each other. So you can use Canva tools inside Book Creator. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
didn't know
it is really cool. All right. I could go off on a tangent with you forever. So if anybody
Yeah.
else has any questions, let us know in the chat and I'll answer them, or I'll have Jay come back and answer them. Don't forget, we do have today, starting today, we do have our training that's starting. It's going to be really, really, really good. I promise. It's going to be awesome. So you want to make sure that you're there. I'll put it in the chat. You can also just go to teacherbosssociety.com.
What time is that training?
You'll probably be sleeping, and it's at 1.
Yeah, I won't be awake.
It's going to be 2:00 in the morning for you. But there is a replay. So if you miss it, there is a replay, and then you still have the community for support. So if you go to teacherbosssociety.com and you go in there, and then actually, I wonder if I have you know what, I'm going to come over and just show this really quick for anybody who hasn't already seen it, because this is, well, let me go back to my.
If you're not in Teacher Boss Society, I would highly recommend it. We didn't get to talk enough about that stuff, but it was very helpful for me. Jillian's advice helped me a lot. And she said one thing that was not in any lesson, any training or anything, but the one thing she said that I remembered was, don't be scared to try something new. And so that was very helpful. I needed to hear something like that.
And you did it.
Thank you.
Did it.
Thank you.
You did it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for coming on here and doing that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the challenge schedule. This is the challenge schedule. This is what we're going to be doing. I literally have the entire year mapped out. So February is Enroll and Grow. I'm going to be showing you how to enroll trial students. In March, we're doing the Visual Branding Tune-Up Challenge. April, we'll do website challenges. So it'll be website revamp. That's the one that you said you're excited for, right?
No, the branding, the March.
Okay. May is going to be, well, that's good because that's next month. May is going to be a high converting freebie. So it's not just how to get students and how to make a, like this is for teachers who want to take it up to the next level, and they really want to be something with their business. And then after that, we're doing the blogging challenge, which I have been working with one teacher independently. I've been working with her on it, and she has seen her website traffic has like tripled or something in like the first week that she started doing it. So, which is a huge thing, right? Then we'll be doing the email sequence challenge, picture perfect challenge, creating courses, which I think might be one that you need, Jay. If you decide,
I can't wait that long. No, I can't wait that long.
Well, then you let me know and we'll work on it, right? And then your weekly email, reel it in, so short videos, and then a revamp of your ideal customer, basically, before we go into the new year. The cool thing about this is that you have access to all of these challenges all the time. So like as soon as the challenge goes live, you can just go in the portal and go through and be like, okay, you know what? I need this right now. Maybe you join later on down the line. You're like, hey, I need this. It will be there for you. But when you're going through the challenge live, you go through it with the other teachers who are going through it at the same time. And it's motivating to do it with other teachers. And it's also, instead of just like, Teacher Boss Society has always been coaching. Well, Independent Teacher Academy has been was the pre-recorded lessons for you to go through, and then coaching. Teacher Boss Society went to just coaching. I kind of put the two of them together, but you are able to build your business and become a big brand, to become like super successful if you put what you have to into it to get to there, without having to go in one day and be like, you know what, I'm setting up my business. Today I'm going to sit down. I'm going to learn Facebook ads. I'm going to learn how to make a website. I'm going to learn how to do a trial. I'm going to do everything today. And then you get nothing done.
Right.
You can actually just focus on one thing at a time. This is how I'm going to make money right now. I'm going to learn how to do trials. And then next month, I'll start doing this, right? I'll add this onto it. I've got my trial students and I'll add this. So you can continue to grow and scale. So that was a mouthful. I'm sorry, guys. I am really excited about it, though. I cannot express how excited and how good this is going to be. It is so good. Sorry. I'm bragging a little bit here, but it is really
That's
good.
okay. You should. The I've been playing around in there when I had time, and everything's very organized now. I know where everything is, and I can go right to the areas that I think I need to work on. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
I can see when teachers are completing courses too. And I can see, even though the challenge hasn't started yet, I can see like, so-and-so completed this. And the one course that was in there was a course that sold for $1,000, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Yes. Independent Teacher Academy was my first coaching product, or my first big coaching product. And that was $1,000 lifetime. It was for lifetime membership, but it was $1,000 coaching product.
Ooh.
So you're getting a lot of value in there.
I think so. I would think so for sure.
All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming on. Everybody
Thanks
else,
for having me.
in a couple of hours with Teacher Boss Society. And bye, guys.